there are 14 devolved functions for the county, Mr. Speaker, sir. And education is not one of them, and security is not another. But it is a shared responsibility. This county has invested heavily in the education sector. Why? Because it is a shared responsibility. Going by the audio circulated in the social media by one purported to have been released by Nancy Macharia, he was heard saying, telling the non-locals to welcome to Kenya, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I wonder when a government employee, a TSC employee, who is supposed to actually impart impartiality in the discharge of its duty, is telling non-locals to come to Kenya as if Mandera County is not Kenya, then that leaves a lot to be desired, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, recently we had two incidents in Moigas where two dormitories were banned. And we have not seen any indications from the national government to have come and even assessed just because they are giving late excuse of insecurity, Mr. Speaker. I also wonder, Mr. Speaker, whether we are part of this country, Mr. Speaker, sir, when Magoha, who is the CS for education, is silent on such a magnitude and such a huge problem that is facing the region of Northeastern. I also wonder, Mr. Speaker, sir, why Kenyans are keeping silent when other regions continue to be marginalized, Mr. Speaker, sir, by the government. I thought we are part of this country. I thought we are being governed by the same constitution. I thought, Mr. Speaker, sir, we go to election every 5 years to elect a president, Mr. Speaker, sir, who is supposed to serve all Kenyans without any fear or favor, Mr. Speaker, sir. And we don't see this good deal coming to the people of Northern Region, Mr. Speaker, sir. I also wonder why the National Assembly is silent. Education is not involved. There is a crisis in the whole region, and the National Assembly is silent on this matter. Mr. Speaker, sir, I also wonder why the Senate is also silent on this matter. Senate is supposed to oversee the functions of the counties. And when certain counties, 3 out of 7 are in crisis, the Senate is still keeping quiet on the same matter. I also wonder, Mr. Speaker, sir, whether we are part of this country. The media is also silent. It's not actually, talking about the educational crisis in the region necessitated by this mass transfer, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, for that reason, I request the TSC and the President to discharge Magoha and the Nancy Baraza. Because Nancy Macharia, I'm sorry. Why? Because for our county to prosper, Nancy Macharia must go. Mr. Speaker, for education sector to grow and wake up from its slumber for the Western region, Nancy Macharia must go. Mr. Speaker, sir, for normalcy to occur in our county, Nancy Macharia must go. Mr. Speaker, sir, for the sake of the rights of our children, Nancy Macharia must go. Mr. Speaker, sir, recently Magoha has directed all the chiefs to make sure that there is 100% transition from primary to secondary. Mr. Speaker, sir, what transition are we talking about when he has already transferred all non-locals over 800 teachers from the county, Mr. Speaker, sir, from the county? If we transfer these people, we transition these people to secondary, who is going to teach these children, Mr. Speaker, sir? Mr. Speaker, sir, this is why I say, as a county and as a region, we must go back to the drawing board. For how long are we keep on lamenting that we have no teachers in this country, Mr. Speaker, sir? And Mr. Speaker, sir, for that reason, I have the following radical measures to be carried out, Mr. Speaker, sir, as one of the leaders of this country. One, I request the President to give direction that the non-locals who have been transferred should be reinstated back to the county. Two, Mr. Speaker, sir, we want the President also to declare a regional attention that we deserve. We want also the president to spearhead and make an affirmative action a reality in this country. Because we have a problem, Mr. Speaker. Our education is on its knees, and we have nothing else to do. And for us to do that, there must be an affirmative action. For Mr. Speaker, sir, if at all the teachers are not going to be restated, then a different examination should be set for our children, Mr. Speaker, sir, unlike other countries, Mr. Speaker, sir, because we don't expect our children and the children of the Kenya to face the same exam, and yet the teachers have all been transferred. So we demand for that, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, we want the government to put all the retirees on the payroll, Mr. Speaker, sir. Because most of the retirees are also young and they can be able to teach. And therefore, one of the affirmative actions is that they should return them on the payroll, Mr. Speaker, sir. The government and the county should employ the UT teachers and trained teachers the way it used to be during our days, Mr. Speaker, sir. I also happen to be a teacher for a period of 3 months, Mr. Speaker, sir, as a UT. And I imparted good knowledge that time, Mr. Speaker, sir, and for those few months, I have students who have already excelled in the exams and doing good jobs, Mr. Speaker, sir. I want also to transfer back all educationists in Kenya to the counties, Mr. Speaker, sir. So that instead of them serving other Kenyans, let them go back to their county of origin. Mr. Speaker, sir, one of the radical measures we want to request the governor to do is that there are many county staffs who are teachers by profession. And I also request, Mr. Speaker, sir, there are honorable members in this house who are teachers by profession. And we want them to go back to classes in the afternoon and teach our children, Mr. Speaker. Because there is no point of us sitting here and lament when we have the majority leader who has a teaching background for ECD to go back and teach, Mr. Speaker, sir. That is my right, Mr. Speaker, sir. Honorable Misharao is a teacher. Honorable Santai is a teacher. Jimani is a teacher. Go back to class. Madam Sumari is a teacher. Anuga is a teacher. Honorable Maliki is a teacher. I am also a teacher. I will go back to school.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, sir, we want the county also to freeze employment of non-locals as from today henceforth, Mr. Speaker, sir, because they are not serving as any purpose. If they always come and get a TSC number and move out, then we don't need them anymore. We better recycle the ones we have so that at least we get what is available, what is rightfully ours, Mr. Speaker. I also say that they should be non-locals, should not be employed. Freeze employment of more teachers from the classroom, Mr. Speaker. Let them stay where they are. Instead of removing teachers from the class and giving them county jobs, we are creating shortages there, and we always keep on lamenting, Mr. Speaker, sir. We want these radical measures to be implemented, Mr. Speaker, sir, both by national government and by county government, and this has created a lot of anxiety in the education sector. Parents are complaining, we are complaining, and the children are outside. They have no one to teach them, Mr. Speaker, sir. We want the county government of the 3 regions, the president included, the minister included, Nancy Nacharia included, to take up their rightful positions in this country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Kula, I think you are one of the members who are very familiar with the standing orders and the general statement. You know, you only have to speak for 3 minutes, but I've just allowed you because the issue is a very important issue. And we are only to discuss issues that we can handle at the assembly. You know, standing order number 432 says, if the speaker allow the request, or the speaker should not allow the request unless satisfied that the matter may properly be discussed. I don't know. Education is a shared responsibility. I don't know how that can be discussed by this assembly. But it's, of course, it is a matter of interest, county interest at the moment. We also have education stakeholders conference on Thursday. I think all these good points we needed to put into a point form and maybe do a presentation through the education committee because we are also stakeholders. And anybody who wants to say something before we move to the next?
This opportunity first to thank my friend, whom I believe now we are in the same camp. More than ever before, Mr. Speaker, first I want to reiterate what Honorable Kura has said, Mr. Speaker. The education situation in northern Kenya is a alarming situation, Mr. Speaker. I know the conference, the stakeholders conference that has been organized by the governor on Thursday, I cannot preempt the resolutions that is likely to come forth on that day. But Mr. Speaker, what is happening in northern Kenya in terms of education is a deliberate attempt by the government of Kenya by creating a situation where we cannot prosper. Mr. Speaker, evident is enough that during the outcome of the last examination result, there has been a lot of deliberate mass failure that has been portrayed in this region, and this was really a deliberate attempt which the government was trying to make sure that we are disadvantaged in terms of education empowerment. Mr. Speaker, I am perplexed to see sometimes when teachers which are very far from the borderline between Somalia and Kenya are being transferred. And even against the wish, Mr. Speaker, because we have seen teachers who are living in Mandera West and Banisa and Mandera Central who have just been not subjected to any terrorism attack has been transferred against their wish, and they have made some cry when they were shifting. Mr. Speaker, even the affirmative action which was done by the former CS Amina Mohammed, which has been downplayed by TSC, is a clear indication that this government is trying to disadvantage us in terms of education. Mr. Speaker, the action that has been taken by Nancy Macharia recently, that she has transferred all the teachers, means that our schools are supposed to be totally closed. And I'm wondering why our schools are operating, because that is the government indication that they are supposed to close down that school. Mr. Speaker, what we are seeking is that the government should come in a way that they can be able to give us, devolve this function of education for 5 years through intergovernmental relations, so that we can be able to pilot how we can be able to address our problems, Mr. Speaker. If the resources and the functions are devolved, Mr. Speaker, we can be able to come up with homegrown solutions so that we can be able to address this problem. Finally, what I would like to say, now that the elephant in the house is BBI in Kenya, what we can resolve as leaders is no education, no BBI. That is the best resolution to make sure that that is the only way we can be able to free ourselves, so that we can take a bold step how we can be able to emancipate ourselves against this issue of bad policy and education in this northern Kenya. Thank you very much.
Your time is up. Any other member? Tomorrow is supposed to be a statement hour, but as I was earlier said, we're going to be addressed by His Excellency the Governor. Maybe I would want to give the leader of minority and majority and that the section 44.2 to do the statement for the week. Minority leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. First of all, I want to take this opportunity to welcome back our honorable members. Alhamdulillah, we thank Allah who gave us this gift of life, that none of us is dead or sick, Alhamdulillah. I also take this opportunity to welcome our new staff. I can see there are some here sitting. Also, you feel welcome. Second thing, Honorable Speaker, during our research, there are issues like locust, which people were using stones and whistles and and Honorable Teno is saying in another language which I cannot say. a lot of traditional ways of scaring them away. Alhamdulillah, the harm is very minimal, though it has harmed specific places like farms. The other thing, Honorable Speaker, the major issue is what was just raised by Honorable Member representing Ramo. That is a serious issue. I think there's a Kiswahili proverb which says, akufukuzae akuambi toka. This issue has been there. It was there in 2015. If we could have come together at that time and we can come up with measures to not, to make us that we don't need now locals, then something could be in better position today. Mr. Speaker, 2015, the same problem was there in health department, Mr. Speaker. But because of the intervention of the county government and the people of Mandera County, now we have surplus of nurses and all medical staff, Mr. Speaker. If we could have done the same for education, then we could not have faced what we are facing now. It is up to us now, Honorable Speaker, as leaders of this county, to come up with the measures that we no longer blame the Minister for Education or Nasi Macharia or anybody, even if he's the President, Mr. Speaker. I think it is up to us to go to even world level. There is, of course, poor attitude of our people towards education. People don't want teaching professions. There is a problem there. So we need to encourage the youth that are coming up, boys and girls of this county, to tell them go and look for, go for these courses, Mr. Speaker. Of course, there's a lot of opportunities. It's not like when we were going for colleges and we were looking for fees and selling animals, Mr. Speaker. This time around, we have bursaries, we have donors, we have CDF, which is somebody, people of who are going for teaching colleges can be fully paid for, Mr. Speaker. So the measures really lies with us. Let us go to our ward level, sit down with the youth. Let's do away with these non-locals that always running away from our place. They are just coming. If they know, why don't our people go to Kakamega County, Kisii County, and those other counties to look for employment? Because we know we have excess persons who are looking for the job. I'm a teacher by profession, but I was a teacher by profession because on the way I've changed my courses. Still I can teach because I have gone through the process. Honorable Kula, I can assure you, if Guba people could be here today, I could have taken some lessons. But still, I will do it, inshallah. Even if it is Thursday and Friday, I have to travel to my ward and teach 1 or 2 lessons, Mr. Speaker. The other thing, Mr. Speaker, let us go and sit down with our people. Our people have a problem of, I don't know, the only job that is now available is teaching professions, that people are sure of getting jobs. Someone will go to business courses, will do up to degree, masters, but there's no job. But here we are looking for teachers. Even a pupil teacher for 2 years course. Why don't you encourage our people? Teachers are teaching profession is the best professional, Mr. Speaker, that we know. So let us encourage our people. Let us go to the wards. We sit down with the youth and we tell them to, go for these colleges. And also we need to talk to the county government and the national government representative that, of course, we have a teachers college here, which is free. The government is paying fully. The county government is paying fully. Though it is not their functions, but the people who are going under that, who are going for that college are people of Mandera County. So the fees are clearly fully paid. Let us collect data so that we know those who finished last year and previous year KCSE, those who are qualified, we collect them, we take them to this college or other colleges, so that in 3 years or 2 years to come, we don't have this problem again. It's up to us. Let's stand up and make sure this crisis is not repeated again. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, George.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would also wish to take this opportunity to welcome back honorable members. As you are aware, we have been away on recess for the last almost 2 months. People have traveled to different destinations, and by the will of God, we are back to the house again. Mr. Speaker, while we were away, a lot of things happened in this county. And as leaders, Mr. Speaker, as we are aware, last week, when we were in Mombasa, the previous week, we were having our retreat. And in that retreat, we discussed most of these issues, Mr. Speaker. Among them, the issues affecting the teachers' crisis, the locust problem, the security issues, and I can remember we came up with a resolution. That resolution, we presented it in a leaders' meeting that was held in Nairobi. All the leadership of this county, chaired by the governor. And we made some resolutions there, including conducting a conference, a symposium that will be done this week on Thursday in Mandera. That will be discussing education crisis. Therefore, I want to urge honorable members to attend that leadership conference, and we take our inputs there as leaders of this county. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, we as a house, when we had our retreat, we discussed several issues, in-house issues, and we solved so many pending businesses. And in our resolution, we also discussed or resolved that we should also, when we come back, at least put some energy into our committees. We said that is where, as a house, we are lagging behind. All members of this house were in agreement that the parties should make changes in those committees and put a lot of energy so that the service delivery is increased. Therefore, those changes that we are making here are due to our resolution from our retreat in Mombasa. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, I also want to welcome the new staff. While we were away, you inducted them, and we are requesting maybe one orientation and familiarization with our staff, because when we came in, some are strangers, we don't know who is working where. As members of the county assembly, I think we request your office to conduct for us one orientation or familiarization program for the staff and the honorable members. With those few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I say thank you.
Next order.
Order number 8,